We have got both of these running right now. And if you are looking at this wondering what the actual difference is, you are not alone. Most of what's been written about NemoClaw this week is wrong. It's not a new agent. It's not a competitor to OpenClaw. It's not logged to NVIDIA's models. And you don't need an NVIDIA GPU to run it. If you have already set up OpenClaw, most of this is going to click immediately. And if you're brand new to both, don't worry. I'll give you just enough context before we get into it. OpenClaw is the employee, smart, capable, and get things done. OpenShell is the secure office building that employee works inside, the actual physical containment. And NemoClaw is the building management system. It's the thing that constructs that building, sets the access rules for every room, and makes sure nothing leaves without going through a security checkpoint first. The employee doesn't change, the work doesn't change, but now there are badge readers on every door and a security log of every decision made. Here's what we are going to cover. How OpenClaw actually works in about 60 seconds. What broke badly enough that NVIDIA had to respond. What NemoClaw actually does. Then 5 questions everyone is asking right now, including whether existing OpenClaw users can migrate. And finally, which one you should actually be running and why. Whether you are already running OpenClaw and wondering if you need to switch, or you are just getting started trying to figure out which one to install, this gives you a direct answer. Even if you have never installed OpenClaw, this takes 60 seconds and it's what makes the rest of this video make sense. So OpenClaw is a persistent AI agent that runs on your machine or server. It connects to 20 plus messaging apps like WhatsApp, Telegram, Slack, Discord, etc. and acts on your behalf around the clock. There are 5 components. First, the gateway. It's always on control plane. This is what you see in your browser. The web chat UI lives here and every message routes through it. Second, the reasoning engine, where your LLM calls actually happen. So this is what calls Claude or GPT, or whatever model you have configured. It reasons, acts, observes the result, and loops. Third, memory. It's not a database, just markdown files on disk. Soul.md defines who the agent is. Memory.md stores what it knows. If you edit those files, you can change the agent. Fourth, skills. Skill.md file that teaches the agent new capabilities. And fifth, the scheduler. This is what wakes the agent up and proactively checks your inbox or runs a job without you having to ask. Now here's the problem. By default, OpenClaw runs with the same permissions as your user account. It can read your files, run terminal commands, access your email. And that's the feature. It's also what made it a target. In early 2026, 1 in 5 skills on official ClawHub marketplace was confirmed malicious. A single coordinated campaign uploaded around 354 of them, all disguised as legitimate tools, all quietly stealing API keys, browser credentials, and crypto wallets. And a critical vulnerability meant that visiting one malicious web page could hand an attacker full control of your local OpenClaw instance. That's the architectural gap NVIDIA decided to fix. And this is their answer. Let's start with the exact definition. It's not a new agent, it's not a competitor. It's a plugin that integrates with OpenClaw CLI, plus a blueprint that orchestrates OpenShell to create and manage the sandbox. OpenClaw itself runs inside the sandbox completely unchanged. It's the same agent, same brain, same skills. It's just a different environment. OpenShell is the building. It runs OpenClaw inside an isolated container. And every outbound network call the agent tries to make passes through a policy engine before it can leave. So it's a deny by default behavior. Nothing gets out without explicit permission. There are 4 things this gives you that plain OpenClaw doesn't have. 1. File system isolation. The agent can only read and write to sandbox and temp. Your actual system files are completely untouchable. 2. Network policy engine. Every destination the agent can reach must be whitelisted in your YAML file. Anything not on that list gets blocked. 3. Privacy router. It intercepts inference calls to your LLM models and strips personal data before requests leave the sandbox. 4. Audit trail. Every allow and deny decision is logged. You can watch it happen in real time. Here's what deny by default actually looks like in practice. So this is the policy file we need to allow Claude's API through the sandbox. Without this exact entry, the agent can't reach Claude. Without it, we will get 403 error, policy denied. The building won't let the employee make that call until you have explicitly put it on that approved list. That's not a bug, that's the feature. I've set up NemoClaw and this is how the web chat UI looks like. It's the same interface you have used with OpenClaw. You can connect to your same LLM models like Claude, OpenAI, or Gemini. But now every file the agent touches and every network call it makes, it's controlled, logged, and enforced at the OS level. The full step-by-step guide to install NemoClaw is already published. You can find the link in the description. Now the 5 questions everyone is asking right now. Question 1. Does NemoClaw replace OpenClaw? No. NemoClaw runs OpenClaw inside it. The agent is identical. You are deciding whether to add the security layer around it, not which agent to use. Second question. Is it logged to NVIDIA's Nemotron models? No. And I just showed you the final setup that was using GPT 5.1. Claude, GPT, Gemini, and other models, all of them work fine. Nemotron is what NVIDIA suggests by default. Third question. Do you need an NVIDIA GPU? No. NemoClaw is hardware agnostic. I set it up on a standard Hostinger VPS with no GPU. You will need GPUs if you want to host your own open source LLM models. Question 4. Can existing OpenClaw users just add NemoClaw on top? This is the one that surprises people. The answer is no. NemoClaw requires a fresh install. It creates a brand new OpenClaw instance inside Sandbox during setup. You can't layer it onto an existing OpenClaw installation. But you can simplify the migration by saving your existing OpenClaw's config files and importing them in the NemoClaw's Sandbox. Question 5. What OS do you need? Officially, Linux, Ubuntu 22.04 or later is required. That said, the GitHub issues show that it's partially working on macOS with Docker Desktop and on Windows via WSL2. Both have known rough edges right now. So which one should you actually be running? Here's how to decide. Plain OpenClaw is the right call if you're experimenting, building hobby projects, or learning how AI agents work. If you're not touching anything sensitive, no client data, no production systems, no credentials that matter, OpenClaw is a fine choice. NemoClaw is the right call if your agent is touching anything that actually matters. Client data, business files, credentials, production workflows. The sandbox means a compromised skill can't reach your real file system. Deny by default networking means the agent can't make unauthorized calls. The audit trail means you have a record of everything. If you're building agents for clients, for companies, and for workflow, where a security feature would have real consequence, NemoClaw is where you want to be. The honest trade-off is setup complexity. You can start OpenClaw in just 5 minutes, but NemoClaw takes a little longer than that. You need to set up OpenShell, the policies, firewall rules, etc. None of it is hard, but it's an additional effort. If you want to stay ahead of where AI agents are going, not the hype, just what works and what doesn't, don't forget to subscribe the channel. And you can watch this video to set up your NemoClaw in just 15 minutes. Thanks for watching and I'll see you there.